Welcome to the warm-up podcast. I think we had a cracking show this week, lads.
I enjoyed it.
Hilarious.
We had Wild Boars. Wild Boars!
We did.
We had John Sheridan, who was a great guest.
He was a very good guest.
And we had full contact continental action.
Continental action, which was about the best moment we've had on the show.
I think it is, yeah.
Everyone in tears.
We also had the Persuaders theme at half-time, which was great.
We like it.
Really good.
Really good selection.
I'd say that was the best, without doubt.
Well, the taxi was good.
I like the taxi
It's so hard to say.
Tweeting, good tweets.
Great.
Really good
listeners.
tweets. And also, if you are going to tweet in the show this week, we're looking for Wild Boars. Name and shame your mates.
Also, I tell you
a
another...
good chance to tactfully tell someone, oh, God, I hate sitting next to you at football.
I tell you what, a particular type of football bore. The people that always moan.
Oh, I've got one
They
next
just
to where
moan
I
and
sit.
moan and moan. But also, they moan about a particular player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get a bee in their bonnet. I got one next to where my brother's tickets are at Arsenal, and every time Arsenal gets scored against, he turns to us and goes, I told you! I told you!
Oh, not what I told you so much.
Well,
What did you tell us?
You know what?
us?
First time I took my kid to Arsenal, which is the team he supports, it was Bergkamp Day. And everyone's dressed in orange shirts. I don't know what's going on. I just took him so he could say he'd beaten Highbury before they moved grounds.
Yeah.
And at one point, this bloke in front of us came out with this big stream of invective. And my little boy, he stood up and said, "It wasn't me, Daddy. It was that man with the tattoo all over his face." And everybody in the crowd just shuddered to see if this guy
brilliant.
was going to look round.
Okay, let's have the podcast. Good morning. Welcome to the warm-up in association with Capital One. I'm Johnny Vaughan. On the day when Joe Hart sweats over whether he starts today for Man City against Arsenal. Big game. And the pressure continues for David Moyes at Man United with the fact that Robin van Persie out for a month. Warming up alongside me, the man with the definitive word on referees and more, the Woodman, Vinnie Woods, Gavin Woods, and Principreneur, the man who gave us the sabotage times. Hopefully he won't be sabotaging us today. James Brown is here as well. Morning, lads.
Morning, Johnny.
How are you this morning, boys?
Very well,
Yeah,
thank
excellent.
Do you know what? I've been in Barcelona all week, but I've read the papers, and I've just so enjoyed Roy Keane this week. He's just delivered on every level. My favourite thing, and it's just probably argumentative, just the way he calls arguments on petty sort of dogs and the girls and the horses. What he was saying, the horses was there and the girls and the dogs and there's loads of... He said, he was talking about Ryan Giggs, who I noticed he left out of his greatest all-time 11.
Yes.
Now, Ryan Giggs, anyone would say, if you could go back in time and you had to buy Ryan Giggs, knowing what you know now about him, to achieve what he's achieved, to be that consistent, to stay not just in a football side, but a side like Man United under Fergie, who, let's face it, sells everyone just at the right moment. Maybe Mark Hughes exception to that, but certainly Nicky. But anyway, the point is, he said about Ryan Giggs, just because he had a great career doesn't make him a great player. Isn't that a great thing to say? It's sort of, what's the difference? You can imagine that's 5 hours in an Irish
That's
pub,
Tim
isn't it?
Chipper
No,
for
I'm
Roy.
not saying he's not a great... he had a great career. He's not a great player.
To be fair, I once saw Roy Keane.
To be fair.
I saw Roy Keane in... I went over to Ireland once with the Irish team.
Yeah.
And I saw him hanging off the door telling everyone in the bar that Niall Quinn was a great player.
He was a great player. And also a snooker player. Niall Quinn regularly racks up breaks of more than 100 at snooker.
Like Lineker.
Is that right?
Yeah, Gary Lineker's a good snooker player as well. He's a very good snooker player. But anyway, what was the other thing that Keane said, Gav?
The greatest manager he played under.
Yes. Guess, obviously, what's he going to say
Without
here?
a doubt,
McCarthy?
Brian Clough.
Without a doubt, Brian Clough. And I hope you're listening, Fergie.
Well, no, the interviewer said, what, not Sir Alex?
No.
And he said, you've asked me the question, I've answered it.
Yeah, but
It's just so conversational. But he also said, Sir Alex I would say, has really praised Roy. He says, you can't fault him on the pitch. And he said exactly what Roy Keane did. He
Covered every blade of grass.
He says, and how does he said he covered every blade of grass on the pitch. And what's Keane's reply?
He said, I feel insulted when you say that because you wouldn't give
that
a
was-
round of applause to a postman for delivering
That
the
was my
mail.
job. It was my job to cover every blade of grass. You wouldn't
anyway.
You wouldn't applaud the postman just for popping a letter through the letterbox.
I think he's right,
He is
You've
right,
got to see what Clough did at Forest. It would be like Grimsby winning European Cup in 3 years' time and then doing the Champions League and then doing it again the year after.
Yeah, you say that, but they had a bit of cash at the time. They did go for the first ever £1 million transfer in Trevor Francis. He did bring in... he kept Larry Lloyd. That's about it. He brought in John Robertson. He brought in the most amazing side of players.
Did they have a load of money?
He bought in... He was fantastic on the transfer market. He brought in some great players.
Well, I guess today, John Sheridan, he bought him.
Yeah,
he didn't play him.
Really?
He didn't play him. He bought him and then he went about 2 months later.
And what did he say about Roy Keane?
I wonder if he bought... He bought another player? I wonder if it was Keane.
No, he didn't. No, he sold Keane. He sold Keane to Sir Alex. And what did he say as he sold him? He's got a lovely smile, that young man. He's got a lovely smile. About Roy Keane. Even then, the irony.
You know, Brian Clough famously had a string of newsagents, which I think Nigel probably has now. It's not really what he's famous for, but outside of football, he had newsagents, and that's what we're looking for on Twitter today.
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered an ex-player in the job that they've started after they've been footballers?
Okay. We've got another good text in as well today, which is about a wild boar story, which is coming up a little bit later as well. James, what are you warming up for today, matey?
Well, the story that's really been catching my attention this week is what's going on at Hull. They're having a big demonstration today because the owner has started insulting the fans. He's saying, it's my club, I'll do what I want, no one tells me to do my business. But actually what he's doing is he's changing the name of the club, and he's already registered it as Hull City Tigers, and he said that from next season they're going to be called Hull Tigers. Yeah. And it's really upsetting a lot of fans. But one of the things he said that I think is right is he will be seen as a trailblazer. I think everyone will do it. Not
you
everyone,
think it'll all go that way?
Yeah, but I think loads of it happened in American football. Tampa Bay Rowdies. They sound great. Tampa Bay Rowdies. Much better than Torquay United.
But aren't we heading towards the franchise? The whole franchise?
Yeah, but I think this will start. It's happened in cricket, in the one-day cricket.
Yeah.
It's happening... nobody complains about the Bradford Bulls being called the Bradford Bulls.
Well,
Leeds Rhinos.
No, but I've said it quite a few times, but, the Leeds Rhinos, I think if you're going to pick an animal, it's got to be vaguely indigenous. I don't associate... So in Leeds, it should be... Go pigeons.
There's not a lot
Go
of...
on.
Listen,
Come on, you whippets.
There's not a lot of tigers. There's no whippets in Leeds.
Come on, the dripping.
There's no whippets in
this
Leeds.
is my very point.
Come on, the dripping.
Johnny, this is why I think this guy's right.
Come on,
because
Scraps.
Come on, Scraps.
Leeds and Scraps would be good. No, but he's got the tigers already.
Go
Tigers are not indigenous to Humberside,
Okay.
right?
Okay. No,
really,
they're really
Hull
not.
should be called the Hull Cod.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Or the whole haddock.
Yeah.
But the fact is,
The
they've
cod.
got in early.
Go
they've
cod.
got a great name. They've got the Tigers.
Yeah.
By the time it's going to come down to Torquay, they're going to be what? A Torquay Octopus?
Yeah, well,
I mean, obviously, it presents a problem for people like Wolves and Swansea. They're going to be the Swansea Swans, Wolves.
Yes.
But, if you don't get in early, you're going to be left with, like, the Middlesbrough
there's going
Woodpecker.
to be nothing, is there?
There's going to be nothing.
Middlesbrough Woodpecker.
Yeah.
They'll look back on this and
go
go,
on, Sparrows.
thank God we got the Tigers.
Yes.
It's a good one. Well,
It is.
I've
I've been thinking about this all week. It's not nice for the fans. They've only had a badge since 1947 with a tiger on it.
Go whippets.
There's no whippets in Leeds.
You were saying last week, Johnny, about De Wolf playing for Wolves.
Yeah, De Wolf, not only played for Wolves, he captained Wolves, but the important
And he
thing
looked
here,
a bit like a wolf.
is he didn't look a bit like a wolf, man. He was a wolf.
I wonder if did the fans shout, "It's De Wolf"?
What about that manager from Wolfsburg called Wolfgang Wolf?
Yes.
I mean, that's quite wolfy.
That's really wolfy. Well, you say there's a wolf gene in football
There
we
is
don't know
a strong wolf, a lupine
It's the
gene.
wolf. No time for little Lamsey. Well, what I liked about that is if ever it's worth looking at any videos of George W. Bush talking, because he did sound exactly like
the wolf.
No time for little Lamsey. He had exactly this, pretty well the same voice. This is the warm-up. Don't forget, you can have your say as well on the show. How about that? Here's how you can get in touch. We're back in a second. Don't be shy. Join the proceedings by calling the show on 08717 223344. Email us via talksport.com, or you can tweet us at DSWarmup or text us at 81089. 50p plus normal sending charges apply. Welcome back to the warm-up on TalkSport in association with Capital One, the credit card that supports the supporters. And good morning to all your supporters that are joining us. Are you right there, Gav?
Yeah, very
You right
good.
there, Jimmy Brown?
I'm great today.
You look perky. You look very, very
I've been
perky.
up since 7:30.
Have you? What, with a baby?
No, doing the notes for the show.
You liar, you liar. You don't even say you're prepared.
I've been checking on Bury's form because we're predicting the Bury Northampton
I did
game.
that last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
You've got to think that guy, Ronnie, whatever he's called, he's been half done by Ronnie Jepson. He only lost one game in 8.
It's an extraordinary
They are
record,
on a
isn't it?
run.
They've replaced him with a guy who's lost his last 6 at Barnsley.
Easy, James. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're doing. You're thinking it. You're thinking last week was a bit light on content. And, you started to bone up on stats
What about
this week.
the wench from
No
the bench?
boning, no
4-0.
cheating,
Did it
no
again.
cheating.
She
Remember,
did
we
it in
kick football out of football. Let's keep it shallow, boys.
Hey, we've had some good tweets.
Go on.
This is from Wes.
We'll be the judge of that, but read them out.
Ex-Premiership Ipswich Town player Jason Dazelle, hod carrying on a building site in Ipswich 2 years ago when I was roofing. Dan Fitch, who's a football writer, says, no, I haven't seen any ex-footballers working, but Neil Kilkenny's dad did install my wardrobe.
No, that's
I like
beautiful.
that. I like that.
A carpenter.
Okay, do you know what? It's time for somebody to get their ass kicked.
Somebody gon' get their ass kicked. Somebody gon' get their wings split. Somebody gon' get their ass kicked. Somebody gon' get their wings split.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the show, John Sheridan. That's 2 of them clapping. Morning, John. How are you this morning?
How are you, lads? I'm okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on the show. Thank you very much for joining us. We were just talking about Brian Clough a bit earlier. Now, you did sign for Forest in '89.
Did I?
Yeah, well, you didn't play. But who would you say was more frightening as a man, Cloughie or Fergie?
As a man?
Yeah. Who would you think would be more frightening? I mean, you've experienced, obviously, you know Fergie along the way, and you were there under Clough.
Well, I don't really know Fergie, but I could imagine Fergie probably being a bit more frightening than Brian Clough. I didn't really find Brian Clough that frightening. He was all right bloke, but he come across okay. But Fergie, I think if he'd lost his temper, he'd be quite frightening.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that, John. Now, you face Chesterfield today. How will your side warm up for today's game?
Warm up? Well, we travelled down yesterday. Obviously, travelling from Plymouth, you know how long the journey is. Wherever you're going, it's always... We left at 9:30, and it took us probably 6 hours to get down here.
Well, I tell you what, John, I've done a bit of research here. You've already travelled 4,234 miles to away games this season, spending 76 hours and 34 minutes on a coach.
Well, good stats. I mean, you're probably right. It feels like more. Yeah, but we travelled down yesterday.
Feels like more.
It feels like more. It does, aye. 6 hours is usually a short journey for us. No, we got down and we just... To be fair, we're staying in the same hotel. Last year we played Chesterfield, and we stayed in this hotel we beat. And we played Mansfield this season, stayed in the same hotel and beat them. And we've done our training actually on just a local park. It was a bit like Kes. We were on the pitch, and,
Were there dogs running on, John?
Pardon?
Were there dogs running on the pitch?
Yeah, there was plenty of dogs, and there was plenty of dogs. You know what?
Really?
Around the pitch.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and we're just a bit superstitious, and we've done the same thing. And we got down just before it got dark last night, and we walked down to the local park, and we all trained on there. So,
what do the lads do to while away the many hours you spend on the road? Is there a card school there? Is it? I mean,
nah, them Johnny, them days. I wish there was a card school.
Because I love gambling.
The lads. No, usually just a game of cards to pass the time away, but most of them sleep nowadays, and they've all, obviously, iPads and all this technology. And no, none of them play, they all just do their own little thing, and it's really quiet.
How does it differ to when you were playing for Big Jack in the Ireland team, Republic of Ireland team?
Well, yeah, totally different to when you're going up. I mean, going away with Ireland, a few of the lads are so many good players, but it was a bit like having a stag do when you went to play with Ireland.
Well, with Big Jack as the stag.
He would call training off sometimes, wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, no, we used to. I mean, no, we'd go away. Obviously, meet up Fridays. If we were playing on the Wednesday during the week, we'd meet up on a Friday, and especially home games in Dublin. Yeah. And Jack was all for it. The camaraderie between the players. That's why Ireland done so well. I think that everyone got on with each other. There was some world class players there, but. When we went away, we had a few days having a drink, and we'd always play cards on the bus, and we'd have a good time. But when the game time came, it was really serious.
What about when you're actually in America in the World Cup in '94?
So we were based in New York for 2 weeks because we were playing in New York. And, he was just relaxed. Jack actually had his own little barrel in his bedroom. You know, Guinness barrel. He
had his own barrel.
He had his own barrel.
But he used to wander up and down. Sorry, was that the World Cup where Jack was insisting that you were really hydrated as a team, and he spent his whole time running up and down the touchline, just putting water there to make sure the players are hydrated.
Well, that was a famous one, wasn't it, with John Aldridge on the sideline. It was absolutely comical. I mean, it wasn't comical on day because we wanted Aldo on the pitch, but the way things happen when you watch it on the likes of YouTube now and you look back to it, I think Aldo must have effed him blind. I think about 20 times. I think he come across and it was comical. And Jack got banned for the next game, and I think we all had to. I think he was trying to make us all put a little bit of money in to pay his fine because he didn't think it was his fault.
Did you ever see Jack in a bad mood? Did you ever see him lose his temper?
I don't think I did. I wouldn't like to either.
I wouldn't.
I think Jack was one of them. If you got on the wrong side of Jack, I think he could. But I think most of the lads respected what he was and took him. But I think he was really good with the players. His man management with the players, I thought was excellent. And like I say, with the Ireland team, great camaraderie, and they've done really well for Jack's time there for 10 years, whatever. And did really well and got in finals and competitions. So a lot of things he did was really good. And
Shez, is it true when you play for Sheffield Wednesday that you once didn't show up for your massage the next day because you're off playing for your brother's team?
Is that true?
Is that true?
I've done that. I mean, I can say it now because I'm out in my career. I've done that a few times. I've got.
Brilliant!
I think the best one I've done was when I was at Leeds. I just got into the Leeds team. I probably played at Leeds United. Eddie Gray was the manager, and I was commuting from Manchester to Leeds. And my brother was playing in the semi-final of the Cup competition, and there was a fellow who ran the team, Paddy Kelly. He was a great fellow who lived in the area where we were all brought up as kids, and they were just a local team. But they were in the semi-final. It was a Friday night, and I was playing. I can't remember who we were playing the following day at Ellen Road. So I've gone to watch him. And it's a lovely summer's night, warm night, and I'm watching. Anyway, one of the lads gets injured. So I'm watching the game, and I've got my trainers on and that, and I said to, you only had a young lad as a son, I said to Paddy Kelly, I says, Paddy, put us on, no one will know. So he's put me on in the game, Paddy, and I've gone on with my trainers. Anyway, we won the game 5-1, I've scored that trick.
I'm going to say, really conspicuous.
Yes. True story. Anyway, after the game, we're celebrating in the changing room, and the referee walked into the changing room and he shouts over to Paddy. He says, Paddy, he said, who's your number 10? He says, he's too good to be playing at this level. I want to put his name into the interleague team and I'm going to put it, And obviously, Paddy, I've gone under a different name and Paddy, but no, I was only a young lad then and I shouldn't have been doing it. But yeah, I done that. I mean, Big Ron used to think I was playing every weekend, Ron, so... But yeah, I did it a few times. I wouldn't like any of my players to do it, but yeah, I did it.
I love that. Meant to be keeping a low profile. Can I say, when you scored the third one of the hat trick, I mean, you're a professional footballer there. Did you really celebrate?
Well, I couldn't celebrate. No, not really too much.
You didn't want to rub it in. So just keep it down.
I think one or two of the other lads on the other team recognised me, so I had to keep it a bit low. So. No, I didn't celebrate too much.
I was going to say, who's that guy who scored a hat-trick but didn't really celebrate?
In his trainers.
In fact, after he scored the last one, in his trainers, looked like he was actually trying to muddle in.
I like
it
that.
might not have been it, just muddle in with the crowd.
Yeah.
Could have been any of them.
I like it when players play football.
Yeah,
I like
football.
I like that clip the other day of Paul Scholes playing five-a-side.
Yeah.
I think football, I know
What
you
a
meet.
goal.
Yeah, but when you meet ex-players, you say, do you ever play anymore? And you go, no, not really. Just think, why?
Why not, yeah.
Anyway, listen, John, thank you very much indeed for talking to us. That, ladies and gentlemen,
that was brilliant.
He's been on the warm-up. He's warmed us up nicely. And you're taking on Chesterfield today, right?
We are, yeah.
Well, best of luck. Best of luck to you against them, and best of luck to them as well. We're very, we show no bias on the warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, we've met John Sheridan. Okay, warming up next. The Woodman will be bringing us Back in Black. James?
I didn't know if that story was true or not.
That's brilliant.
It's
that
a
it is true,
cracking
isn't it?
story, isn't it?
I heard
Such
that. I
a
can't
good-
remember who told me that, but they said, Shez was never in for the massage on Sunday. Big Ron always went, where's Johnny? Picked up a knock yesterday. He was playing for his brother's
It's fantastic.
amateur team.
Oh, that is
I'm glad
brilliant.
you did a bit of research, didn't you, there?
No, that's an old story I
Is it?
remembered.
All right, that's not part of your weekly...
I wonder if-
No, I remember that the week I
mentioned.
mentioned Chris Waddle, whose birthday it is today.
Yeah, happy birthday, Chris.
Yeah, the week I mentioned he played for a bacon sandwich. I remembered on the way home. I'm sure Shez did that at Chef. Maybe it just happens at Chef Wednesday.
Who knows? Do you know what? We've got to take a break. Back in a second. As I say, we've got the Woodman with Back in Black. Everything you need to know about refereeing this week. Stay with the warm-up. Welcome back to the warm-up. Can I just thank the two gentlemen I met in Barcelona this week, one of whom told me one of the funniest... They know I love a story about Cockneys. And it's one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time. I will repeat the story because I think I can do it. It's clean. It's nice. What he saw was after a game down here once, just to give it a bit of football, he saw a chap in a curry house with his 5-year-old son, both of them wearing tracksuits from Reebok Classics. And there was a man in there, Cockney dad, with his 5-year-old son. They're in this curry house. And on the table is one of those puddings. It's a pineapple.
A
yeah?
whole pineapple.
A whole pineapple. And the son, the 5-year-old, has picked up the pineapple and gone, Dad, what the F is this? Dad, what's this? And he's held up the pineapple. Do you know what his dad says? That, my son, is a pineapple, normally found in a tin.
Yeah,
Interesting fact.
yeah, and
Do you know what the funny thing is?
What about
Is
it?
I wasn't quite sure where pineapples actually came from. I had to actually look it up. Suddenly it occurred to me at the end. I was thinking, where do pineapples actually come from? Where do they
Caribbean,
grow?
something like that.
No. In terms of what,
Philippines?
No, how do they grow? What do they look like? Are they on a
come
tree?
off of trees, don't
No, they're like a mini tree in their own right. Gav looked it up.
I looked it up.
they? What, you should be researching pineapple?
Yes,
I mean,
because we
I mean,
realised-
find out about Bury.
We realised we didn't know.
That, my son, is a pineapple.
What? So go on, how do
found in a tin.
pineapples-
Anyway,
Well,
thank you
it's
very
like-
much for that story, the chap who told me.
See, that's also
it's
the
kept me
thing.
laughing all week. Go on,
If
go
you
on.
don't get in early and get a good animal name for your team, you're going to end up with fruit.
Yeah.
Well,
It's going to be the Portsmouth Pineapples.
Portsmouth Pineapples. John, thank you very much for all your texts in here. Hi, chaps. Loving the show. I fear whole shirts with words... We're great. Who's
that? Who's that
John
name?
from Manchester says that. He says it doesn't bear thinking about.
That's brilliant.
I work with ex-West Brom and Coventry defender Paul Dyson. This is the other one we've been asking about when you've seen people, footballers, working in other jobs. I work with ex-West Brom and Coventry defender Paul Dyson, who was also capped 5 times by England. He was my senior officer at Her Majesty's Prison, Woodhill in Milton Keynes, and owns a sports shop still in Coventry while working as a prison officer. That's from Scott Chapman in Corby, not the home of the Trouser Press. I know it's just a homie. What was the steel mills till they got shut down by Ian McGregor?
I've got a good one here from Ian.
Go on, Gav.
Brian Roy on a market stall in Amsterdam selling collectible football figures. This guy, Ian, bought Bergkamp.
Nice.
Paul Brooks says, I used to go drinking with Frank Clark, brother of Alan, years ago. He worked at a sports centre at the time.
Nice.
I've got one from Neil Shepperson. Neil Webb was my postman.
That's true, yeah.
That's a good one.
Really? Is that what Neil Webb
And
did?
Brendan Ormsby is also a postman in Moortown, Leeds. That's from Mickey Hughes.
Peter Bonetti became a postman in the Isle of Skye.
Did
when
he?
When he retired from football, yeah.
That's a good one.
He just
Really?
went off to the Isle of Skye and became a... Well, I can't make it any simpler. He
I've got
became
one
a postman. I can repeat myself.
from Mike. Joe Durrell, ex-West Ham, Cardiff, Bristol, Gillingham. Brilliant primary school teacher.
Nice.
That's an excellent one.
Gav,
Yeah.
Gav, what are we missing? Go on, get one more, James,
And
because it's back in
it's
black
another
time.
teacher, Peter Davenport, works at my school, says Chris.
OK, thank you very much. Do you know what? It's been another big week for refereeing. Luckily, we've got the whistleblower right here with us, the man who's boned up on all your refereeing stats. It's time for Back in Black. Gavin, what's happening in the world of refereeing? I want to start off with the alleged diver Ashley Young.
Yeah. You mean the diver, Ashley? No, anyway, he's put a quote out this week saying, I've spoken to the previous manager and the current manager, and the referees are giving decisions, and this is where I think it lies.
Okay.
So
That's
in
a
other
lovely
words,
quote, isn't
well,
it?
no, but that begs two questions. What he's saying, basically, is I can't stop diving because we keep getting given the pens.
Yeah.
And it's too useful to the...
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you wonder if the managers have said, instead of saying, stop diving,
Yeah.
they've said, stop making it look so obvious.
Yeah,
but
stop
that's
getting
a,
caught
that's a
diving.
little bit like a criminal going, yeah, the crime has only been committed
When
because I've been caught.
When I've been caught.
Well,
If they
it's
didn't
right,
catch
though, isn't
me,
it?
it wouldn't be a crime.
If a tree falls in the Amazon and there's no one to hear it, does it fall?
Did
does it make
happen?
a sound? Yeah.
Well, I think the answer lies somewhere in between where we just basically accept that he is diving.
Can I say something, Gav?
No.
Gav, why did you do the gesture and said, the answer lies?
Somewhere- no,
you
'cause
started really yin and yanging with your hands.
I'm pretending to be balanced about
No,
it.
you
but
weren't,
I'm not.
but you went really yin and
Everyone
yang.
can see that he's diving.
The answer lies,
Gav,
John.
the problem with this is the quality of defenders that are around today. Because in the old days, Johnny mentioned Larry Lloyd earlier when we were chatting. Someone like Larry Lloyd, Norman Hunter, even Vinnie Jones, go to the 80s, they'd have left him in a pile
Go
because
to
he
the
couldn't
80s.
get up.
Do you know what's funny
Yeah.
about that?
He couldn't get up
He
and
could
dive
get-
again, and he wouldn't have gone near enough them to affect
The
a
other thing I
dive.
noticed, I watched a game last night in 1973 between Chelsea and Leeds, and I thought, I'll watch that. It's a highlight on YouTube.
Who won?
Leeds won, 2-1.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. Tell us
no,
more.
No, but what I was interested
God
in,
dripping.
I was thinking, okay, well, I'll see Norman Hunter kick some people. I see how the refs were reffing it differently.
There was
in those
no
days.
kicking, was there?
I'll tell you what, the players running with the ball, they were so much better at skipping over a tackle
Yeah.
because they knew it was coming in hard and they knew it was coming to their legs.
Yes, like you jump out of the way when a car goes past you.
Tommy
fast.
Smith would have broken his back.
The ball was kicked forward and the player was over the tackle. And it happened time and again. It was a really skillful game, actually. There wasn't anywhere nearly as much kicking as I thought there would
Yeah,
be.
of course not.
It really
But you're
was.
right about there was less diving because when you've been tackled, you really knew it.
Yeah, well, anyway.
But there's less controversy about it. I mean, you knew he must have died because if he hadn't died, he'd be in
football
hospital.
now. When you see football, somebody sees.
I hate football now.
No, I hate when you
Key
see
quotes.
I hate when you see somebody go down really wet.
Yeah.
And also when there's a really good tackle and the ref gives a foul. It's it's part of what we grew up with. Really strong.
foul. The referee has blown a foul.
With AW.
No, but this is what you could. If you're over 30,
that were never a foul.
Like a chicken.
if you grow,
Hey, that were never a foul. You'll
If
come
you're
to Leeds
over
United
30,
and I will show you a foul.
if you're over 30, right, you are missing out on things we grew up with.
No, that's
It's like
right.
they stopped bowling bouncers in cricket.
Go-
Oh no, you better get rid of them because they might hurt them.
Well, they're allowed one, aren't they, and over, or they get a warning.
They should be allowed. Each player should be allowed one hefty challenge.
They should. They should.
Each player should be
And then-
allowed a foul.
And then instead of learning how to dive well from a strong tackle, you learn
Yeah.
how to jump over it better.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
Gav, point two. Because I know it's
Our
only
other point,
it's only a two-pointer
this
today.
week. Mike Dean is going to be refereeing the live TalkSport game 5:30 between Hull and Stoke. And Stoke have had 6 players sent off by Mike Dean since 2000. 3 reds in 4 games once. And I just noticed it online. There was one blogger from Stoke fans blog was just saying he couldn't believe how many players they'd sent him off. But I did think, but they are quite dirty, Stoke.
But hang on, wait a second, Gav. wait a second, Gav. You described Stoke to me once as being as like a side made of orcs.
Well, that was their nickname amongst
know.
Arsenal fans because
Yeah.
they broke Ramsey's leg and then sang he's only got one leg.
The orcs.
Well, you see, I've read an interview with Tony
That keeps
Pulis
me
this
laughing.
week.
Yeah,
Tony
go on.
Pulis is a good interview with him in
what, James?
442 magazine this
Okay.
week, and he's done it between jobs before he's taken on the Palace job, and it's interesting. He denies that they were a hard, dirty, booted up the pitch team, and that they could play. He says you don't get to an FA Cup final, you don't get to whatever, all the different things he qualify. You don't stay in the Premiership 6 years running if you're just booting people and hoofing
And
it
he's
up.
absolutely right. He's
Okay,
absolutely
And he
right.
also said you don't get to the last 32 of the Europa League.
That's a fair point. That's a
not-
fair point. The thing about Stoke is that they worked really hard all the game through, but they were tactically, they were.
They had Patrick Berger playing for
Robert
Huth.
Huth was literally pulling the goalie out of the way while
but
someone
Robert
else
Huth's
was
like-
pushing the wall out of the way.
I
in
know,
a
but
free
he's
kick.
like an X-Man. he's
is.
he's a mutant. He's like 7'9".
He is like an X-Man.
He's just enormous.
They're all tall. That's the thing.
Yeah,
with
they
Stoke.
are,
They're
yeah.
all- They're the giraffes. Maybe that could be their nickname.
Go Giraffes.
Stoke Giraffes.
They're Stoke giraffes.
Absolutely right.
Anyway.
Gav, what was going to be your...
That was it.
No, you were going to talk about match fixing, but our producer said...
Can I just tell a
such
story
hot
about
potato.
referees? Because Gavin might have things.
If it's going to be good, though, James.
Yes,
go on.
one time I was watching Leeds Luton and the referee pulled a muscle.
I love it when that
Immediately, the
happens. I
Leeds,
love
he
when
had
that
to come off, and the linesman was warming up to come on.
Yeah.
The Leeds fans were chanting, "You're not fit to referee."
I heard a great chant.
I heard
Yeah, it was
a
the
brilliant
best
one.
instant chant I've
I
ever
heard a
seen.
great chant from the from Plymouth fans to the Brighton fans. There's a well-known song down south called "You Dirty Northern Bleep."
Yeah.
And they sang that. The Plymouth fans sang it to the Brighton fans.
I was once at Chelsea away at QPR. And this is quite a quickie, but this I thought they came up with this very, very quickly. There was it was in the days of the caging, and a Chelsea fan who was really fat had a heart attack or something during the game. Right. Or something happened, I don't know. But they had to open up the cage, get him out, get him on a stretcher, James.
Yeah.
Had to get him on a stretcher.
Yep.
And they were wheeling him out. Everyone in the ground was quite quiet, yeah? And the Chelsea fan, and there was real sort of hush there. And the QPR fans started going, he was absolutely still. And the QPR fans started going, do 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 do. At which point the Chelsea fans started going, loyal supporter. And he got to the end, there's a bit of silence here, and suddenly from the stretcher, this great big fat thumb just came up from his fan. To the Chelsea fans, like that, yeah? From the stretcher, at which point everyone started chanting, everyone in the whole ground, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive, which is a lovely moment. It's 11:44, this is your warm-up. Warming up next, Wild Boars! Welcome back to the warm-up. I'm Johnny Vaughan, joined as ever by the woodman Gavin Woods and James Brown, the man who put the San Pellegrino in studio. What's that about?
It's just normal tap water. Gavin said that.
What, you fill up a San Pellegrino, to look expensive?
No,
you keep your water in a San Pellegrino bottle.
I play a lot of five-a-side, so you always have used the bottles to fill it with tap water.
You don't play five-a-side.
I play football. I play football at 10 o'clock Tuesday nights.
Do you?
Can anyone beat that for lateness?
That really is the last thing,
we're finishing at 11:15.
Late-night soccer.
as we came in here...
Late-night soccer.
This is the worst...
Beer, wings, sports...
The worst football lie. As we came in here, Chambo, I'm not sure what he does in there. He's in the hot house.
Yeah.
He tried to tell me that San Pellegrino was owned by the family of Pellegrini. Even though the fact it's a different spelling, and one of them's from Italy and the other one's from South America.
It's just a
pathetic
bad lie. It's a
pathetic
lie.
Did he call him Sam Pellegrino?
Yeah, it's St. Pellegrino. Is there a St. Pellegrino?
Probably.
I don't know.
There's a saint.
Let us pray to St. Pellegrino for the gift of fizzy water.
Hey, do you know, I had a dream about the show yesterday morning.
Did you?
It was very weird. Never
What was
happened.
it like?
Never happened to me before. I was laughing my head off, and I woke my girlfriend up. It was like, and I couldn't get out of the dream.
Did you say one of your girlfriends?
No, I woke up the girlfriend.
I woke up one of your
I was
girlfriends.
worried. I thought it was going to burn the baby.
know what room I was in,
Yeah.
No, but I was laughing. I can remember it really clearly. We were interviewing Molly Sugden.
Brilliant.
We were interviewing Molly
Who
Sugden.
is Sharon Osbourne?
No, she was going, I don't know why, but during the conversation, we didn't have anything to talk about football. So we were asking about her latest love affair, which was Peter Stringfellow.
Yeah.
And then you asked her if Stringfellow had shown the thong to Molly Sugden.
Nice.
At this point, I was wetting myself laughing.
I
woke up, I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out of the dream, but I was laughing.
Sharon Osbourne has become Mrs. Slocum.
Has she?
Yeah, any second during the
If
X
she went
Factor,
for the
I
pink
expect her to
hair.
go, my pussy doesn't mind me. Seriously. It's getting to that stage on the show. Yeah, it certainly is. Yes, it is, James. It really is. We were talking earlier about soccer's hard men, but I was thinking, these days, we're absolutely right. There is no one who would earn a nickname like Chopper. I mean, in the old days, it used to be literally like it was prison nicknames.
Razor.
Who sees it? Razors. Bites your legs. Psycho.
But check this out. Spike is a regular listener to the show. He's a
You're not
Fulham
going to
fan.
flow with that then, James?
No, it's an answer to what you've said. Spike has answered your comment there. He says he's a Fulham fan. He says Peter Storey, on his Fulham debut, made a thigh-high sliding tackle in the first minute, took out the opposition's best player. The Fulham fans booed. Typical Fulham, southern softies.
Yeah, exactly right.
And that's from a Fulham fan.
Because they don't appreciate a foul.
A full-blooded challenge.
It was a full-blooded foul. That. I will not have that on here.
I think it engenders respect between the teams.
Guys! I've got today's big story for you. You ready for Wild Boars?
What bollocks?
Never lose it.
Wild Boars! Wild Boars! Okay, here we go. You can tone that down a little bit because wild boars have caused havoc at the home ground of a non-league football club. This didn't catch the eye of anyone at TalkSport. You know why? Because it was in the news section, not the sports section of the newspaper. And for them, that is what for a lot of people, what for the ladies is like the sports section. Are you ready for this? Wild Boars have caused the havoc at, I think it's Sudeley AFC, and we've got the chairman of that club on the phone right now. Here's Ian Marfell. Ian, good morning.
Morning, fellas. You all right?
Yeah, really good, Ian. Tell us about what's happened here. This court mile, you've got rampaging wild boars have done your ground in again.
They have done it in, yeah. We had it about 5 years ago as well. and they'd done similar damage this time, but this time it was a lot worse.
Take us through the damage. What have they done, these little varmints?
They've what they did was they managed to find a gap in the fence and the hedgerows around the ground, and
the hedgerows round the ground.
Well, that's it, yeah. Hey, this is totally non-league, mine. This is, you know, no
Excellent.
stadiums or standing up and down here.
Yeah.
But they got through and they got on the pitch, and there was carnage on there, basically.
No, what do you mean it was carnage? What did they do to the
They had a
pitch?
little riot.
Well,
Why did they want the football pitch? There's so much nature
They're
around.
old school balls.
They are old
They
school.
wanted to bring back mud. Sliding
muddy
tackles.
pitches.
Okay, hang on, what is it? I bet they've got that there anyway. Go on, so what did they do to the pitch? What was this carnage? Because 1,000 quid's worth of carnage.
They're rooting
Yeah, it
for
was.
truffles.
What they do, they go on it because it's a cut field and it's easy for them to get onto it. What they do is go on there and they get their noses under and their snouts under there. What they do, they're looking for worms as well. So what they do, they get underneath, rip it all up.
Has it ever happened during a match?
Not during a match.
They're
No.
not during a match, no. Go on, so they get. I'm really enjoying it. Everyone knows I'm an Accent fan, but you're. Can you say
Where can I ask,
Could you
where
just
is Sudley?
say their snouts again for us?
Their snouts.
They're getting their snouts right under there.
Johnny,
Good
where
God.
is Sudley? Where is it?
Yeah, good point. It's in the Forest of Dean. It's in the Forest of
First
Dean.
team in Gloucestershire, yeah.
Yeah.
Forest.
Okay, so they got their snouts right underneath
Right.
there, which we love.
I like that.
And the damage was what? As soon as you came down, you got that oh no, wild boars feeling, right?
Yeah, we had that feeling. But like I said, we had it before, so we knew what the damage was going to be like when we got down there, but we didn't expect it to be the extent of what it was. And we knew straight away that there was going to be no football on there for a good while.
Yeah.
But this was the weekend of bonfire night, so the Saturday before bonfire night. So we haven't played on there since then.
Yeah.
He was hoping to get back on there at the beginning of January. So we've been advised by the groundsman that it's probably not going to be till the end of January now. So
Really?
Can't you just play on the mud?
No, once wild boars, because they've tried to get their snouts underneath. Once they've been looking for worms, you can't. Once a wild boar's been worming.
I've played on pitches when I was a kid. You had to get cows off the pitch.
I know, but they don't make the mess of what. But cows don't try and get their snouts under the pitch to get the worms.
I would
do
rather
they?
slide for a wild boar desecrated pitch than a cow patted pitch.
I do know what
Discuss.
I do know what the end of season dinner's going to be, though.
Yeah. I'll give you a clue. It's going to have an apple.
Christmas
It's going to have an
lunch.
apple in its
There's going to
mouth.
be some
there's
sausages.
already talk of a hog roast at the end of
Yeah.
season.
Have you tried to catch them?
Well, no, I wouldn't want to try and catch one of those.
No, they're
they're
savage.
big and they're strong. You don't want to see one running at you. It'd be like Jeff Capes coming at you.
Yeah. who we know from the show is Britain's #1 budgie breeder.
Yeah, that's
right.
Can you just, it'd be like Jeff Capes coming at you. It's worse than that, because Jeff Capes obviously was a policeman, so he's not going to be that savage. Well, unless, of course, you're having a riot, and he was with his days with the Special Patrol Group, the SPG, which, of course, Jeff was part of.
Or he could have been drunk and furious.
Yeah, exactly right. But when you actually are eye to eye with a wild boar, you've got a 50-50 chance of escaping
I think
without
you've got to
serious
get
injury.
out of there, yeah.
You have to. It's a 50-50 boar, which is a bad pun, but that's the situation you're in there. It was a terrible pun. It was an awful pun.
50-50 ball.
It was a
All of
50-50.
that.
It was a 50-50 ball. I didn't just do it for that. That just came from me. Okay, so what are you going to do to stop this problem of the wild boars? Wild boars!
Well, what we've done so far, we've had to work a lot with the Village Hall, because the Village Hall committee, they own the ground, so we just...
The
rent
Village
it
what?
for the
Village
Village
Hall.
Hall.
Village Hall. Okay, sorry. Oh, Christ, I thought, what's she got to do with it? Okay, carry on.
Talk about the Plymouth Hoe.
Yeah. Go on.
Anyway, so they own the ground, and what they've had to do, they've looked at the fence, and they've got the fence fixed, and then we're just left with dealing with the mess on the pitch now, which we've started doing that. That's well underway. We've had to put £300 worth of sand on there at the moment, which are like to fill in all the gaps and sort of make it more...
300 quid's worth of sand.
That's not much.
That's a beach.
Yeah, I know.
Not a lot of
It
sand.
is. Sand is cheap, man. Talk is
Right,
cheap.
yeah, it's a lot of sand. That's
Sand
about
is
11 tons
cheaper.
worth. Yeah, but the thing is, that's likely to double. We might have to double that again and put more on there. We've managed to save a lot of money because the players have done it themselves. The players of the committee have been down there and
good
done it.
on, good on 'em.
Have they just done their own bit that they start from?
Yeah.
So the right back just done his little bit.
Little portion, yeah.
Well, the right back was all right. There was nothing on there. It was right in the middle of the pitch, I mean, if it was.
It was a midfield ball.
They went for the centre circle.
They went for the centre
bullseye.
circle, yeah, and the goalpost. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's a brilliant story.
Do you know the thing about wild boars is anything they do? there's not meant to be criminal intent in the animal world, but it's funny, isn't it? That it's like when monkeys start breaking into places, they always wait till everyone's gone. They know enough to know they're doing wrong. The wild boars have waited till there's no one there. They've crept in. They've found the centre circle, the most vital bit of the pitch,
And the goalposts.
And the
Even,
goalposts. I mean, they really know where to vandalise. Do you think they're perhaps it's these wild boars haven't been trained by your big rival club?
Rugby fans, the wild boars are.
Well, the thing is that you can't tell because they come in at night times.
Yeah.
They're undercover, so you don't ever see them doing it. You just see the mess that's left.
Why don't you just plant something that they like truffles, in a nearby
That's
wood?
pigs. That's pigs, not wild boars.
Well, whatever boars are looking for.
Well, worms.
Yeah, well, why don't they put them off the pitch?
Or why don't you build like a
Deworm it.
giant mousetrap with just a big pile of worms?
Built by JCB.
Built by JCB wild boar trap, with this enormous spring. It looks like a medieval catapult, and just blang!
Trebuchet.
And that's it. You get literally wild boar tartar.
Well, if JCB want to get in touch and put a proposal
good
forward for
idea.
that.
There must be
Okay, would you stay in touch with us to keep us? Can we have a regular wild boar?
If they come back, we've got to hear about it.
We want to hear about what's happening there. Is that possible, Ian?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Okay. Apart from that, how's your season going?
It's not too bad. The second team's doing quite well. We're aiming for promotion this season. The first have been struggling a bit, but hopefully they'll pick up a win today.
Okay. What league are you in?
The first team are in the Gloucestershire Northern Senior League, Division 2, and the reserves are in the North Gloucester League.
Okay. And who's your big rival?
I say Sudeley, the first team, their big rival is Viney Hill, I'd imagine.
Okay. Listen, thank you very much indeed for talking to us, Ian. It's been an absolute treat. It really has. It was. Thank you very much, Ian. Best of luck with your wild boar problems. I hope you get the ground up and running, but do keep us posting. We want to know where those snouts are going. And thank you very much for giving us that word. I hope you didn't mind my enthusiasm for your pronunciation there, but it's just beautiful. Take care. Bye, Ian.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, cheers, lads. Ta-da.
Ian, cheers, Ian. Ian Marful, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Warming up next. Well, we've got your second hour of your warm-up. We've got Brighton in a minute. We've got our match day predictions. We've got more of James Brown's tweets and texts and things he's had in. We've got it all for you. It's all coming up on your warm-up. Stay with us. What is this? That really threw us there.
No, this is that
Completely.
really-
What is it?
This
It's
is
like
that
Christian rave music.
And the Lord came down to the land of Canaan. There were many plagues and the clouds were raining. Believe in Jesus. Praise the Lord. Terrible.
What is this? This is what they listen to when we're not here.
It's that happy music they used
It's
last
awful.
week.
We
Adrian
don't want
Durham.
with his Christian rock show.
Hey, what about that full contact?
What?
The rugby league show
You don't
tomorrow
want
night.
full contact with northern accents.
Full contact.
Rugby league. Voices like tackles.
With continental action.
Continental action. Full contact, no holds barred. Coming at you on TalkSport Monday. International. Scandinavian. Big powerful men going at it. Danish and naked.
Tackling all the subjects.
Yeah. Every tackle. Every clinch. Coming at you. Big powerful men. Powerful men with big thighs. You beauty. Get in there. Full contact. International rugby action.
That was good.
Could you get this Christian stuff off? Sorry, I've got nothing against Christians.
I'm becoming a Satanist.
Sorry. Okay. At least you got your health, James. Whoa. That was your warm-up for this week. I thank you so much to everyone who seems to be enjoying it. Not the podcast particularly, but the show. Podcast doesn't do that well. Not like continental action. Big lads. Full contact, big lads steaming into each other. See everything.
See everything.
Anyway, your tweets this week, please, once again, wild boars.
Yes, at TS Warm-Up.
At TS Warm-Up. Send them to you, and James will fish all those out the ether, and we'll be enjoying them next week. Welcome to the Warm Up Podcast. I'm Johnny Vaughan.
I'm Gavin Woods.
I'm James Brown.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah,
Hello,
hello,
podcast.
iTunes.
Cool. Hey, happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
And let's kick it off with Slade. Do you know what I was thinking? No wonder the guy in Mott the Hoople, sorry, no wonder Roy Wood wishes it could be Christmas every day.
Yeah, because he gets rich every time.
Yes, he really does.
He does.
If I'd written the song "I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day," I wish I'd written "I Wish It Could Be Christmas."
The
Every
West
Day.
Ham fans were singing, "We wish it could be Tottenham every week."
Were they?
Yeah, because they've beaten them twice.
Nice.
On Wednesday.
To the tune of "We wish it could be Christmas every."
What do you think of the pod? What do you think of the show today, Jim? What do
It
you
was
reckon they've got in
It's a
store?
good show. I
I
tell you-
don't know, lads.
No,
I was a bit green round the gills today, I've got to tell you. I came into TalkSport, I have to say, there is no better place to walk in feeling really hungover, because I think that's like the default.
It's a common theme
It's
in
the
the
default
building.
emotion
You know
here.
what? Do you know what keeps the show absolutely buzzing today? Is we've got some brilliant stories from
Have we?
listeners.
The
What do you mean,
tweets.
have we?
Gillespie was good.
Yeah, but Gillespie's good. But some of those stories
Some of
that
those
the
tweets
listeners
were
have
excellent.
tweeted in.
Joe, we had
Absolutely
some great squirrels as well. That squirrel on the pitch at QPR, live coverage of that was tremendous.
I like the
was, it
fact
was
that on this show, not only do we talk to a man about how his fence is working, we also go over to squirrel commentary.
It was
Exactly.
fantastic.
Tony
And
Chenza.
actually, Tony was up to it. He was really up for it, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
I mean, I hoped he was. I sort of challenged him to do it.
He really described the crouch that the squirrel was in.
He captured it, didn't he?
I'm not talking about Peter Crouch, obviously, but
No, that'd be odd.
the position that the squirrel was standing in.
What do you reckon, James?
Yep.
It's good.
Okay. Right, let's have the podcast, and here it comes. Good morning, welcome to the warm-up in association with Capital One with me, Johnny Vaughan. Good morning to you, it's 11:04 on the day when Luis Suarez wakes up to the fact that his new deal with Liverpool is set to earn him. And can I say it's not a similar situation here. He's going to be getting 200 grand a week. And that's the difference. We cover it, they play it. But Malky Mackay's future at Cardiff still hangs in the balance after the ultimatum from owner Vincent Tan. What a name Malky Mackay is. You know, you can sort of feel, as you rub your hand across the finger across those words, you can almost feels like tartan.
It's alliteration. It's like
Come
Lois
on.
Lane.
Malky Mackay.
Wow. It's a great
It's
name.
just too Scottish.
It is.
I mean, it's too much. It's almost like they're hamming it up. Warming up alongside me, the whistleblower with the definitive word on referees and more, the woodman, ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Woods in the house.
Morning, Johnny.
And Princepreneur James Brown joins us.
Morning.
You right there, James? How are you this morning?
I'm great, actually.
I was just, you know what, I was taking a mazy dribble to the sports pages.
Down your leg.
I just chanced on Dear Deirdre in the Sun. I shouldn't be distracted by it, but here's a question for you, lads, yeah? And if you're out there driving to a game, you're getting going, I just want you to know what your advice would be here. Yeah, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm just saying, Deirdre does it in many words. I just want you to knee-jerk advice, yeah?
Yes,
First
go on.
reaction. Are you going to hit me with it? You ready?
Yeah. Go
for it.
Okay. Dear Deirdre, I had really great sex with a girl from work after our Christmas office party. Should I dump my girlfriend? Question one. I'm just saying, yes or no, lads. Come on, you the agony aunt. Instinctively, I would just say no. It just sounds.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a good idea. I don't think.
Was this Malky Mackay?
No, it's not Malky Mackay.
Oh,
no,
right,
this
okay,
is to
right.
Deirdre. What do you think, Jim? You've edited many magazines. What would be your advice to this person?
He's already made a mistake admitting it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think he's kind of dumping her by talking about it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, next one. Are you ready for this one? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm only going to do this once on the show ever. But I just think it's relevant for us today. Are you sure you can handle this?
Go on.
Yep.
Okay, dear Deirdre. I'm not sure whether my US Army boyfriend is taking me for a ride. I'm not sure whether my US Army boyfriend is taking me for a ride. I'm 45. I met him online a month ago. He says he's an American soldier on duty, but he speaks in broken English. What do you think, guys?
Was that from,
What do you think, guys?
Was that from 1942?
She's met
Was that like?
Was he giving her nylons and cigarettes?
Look, listen, he says he's a US Army boyfriend and he's in the army, but
Overpaid and over here.
he speaks only in broken English. What do you think, guys? Is he taking you for a ride? James,
They haven't even met yet, have they?
James, you
It's all
see into the
online.
heart of woman. What do you think?
I mean, if you're gonna start a relationship with an online fantasist, you want somebody who can speak English or American.
Okay.
If they're pretending to be American.
Okay, thank you, James. You've seen into the heart of that one. I hope that...
If he turns out to have a grandmother that needs 10 grand for an operation,
Yeah.
it's not a good relationship.
Okay, thanks very much, Gav. Thanks very much for that. I just want to say to everyone out there, this is the warm-up. Looking forward to Day of Sport. James, what are you warming up for today, mate?
Well, I've been fascinated this week by Vincent Tan. You know, the Cardiff fans...
Crazy name, crazy guy.
Well, what I've worked out is he's got an inferiority complex because a lot of footballer owners have got the same name as colours.
Right.
No, I
Yeah.
see where you're going with this.
And
Brown.
Tan is a really...
We just had Gray in here.
Tan
right?
is... We had Mickey Gray. I don't know if he owns a club, but we've had Craig White at Rangers.
Phil Brown.
There's a fella called... No, owners.
Oh, owners. Okay.
So
It's a verb as well, though, James, isn't it?
David Green...
okay.
There's a guy called Green who's an owner of Rangers. David Gold at West Ham.
Yes.
There's loads of them when you look into it. Tan is a really rubbish colour.
It is, yeah. Well,
It is.
it's also
If you
Jim,
have tan
Jim,
shoes-
Jim, it's a verb as well, isn't it? To tan.
To tan.
It means buff, doesn't it? That
But
colour,
this is
the
his-
colour buff.
This is his thing with colour. He's made the Cardiff change shirts.
Yes.
Now he's making them change manager. He's constantly trying to deflect from the fact that of all the colours a football owner can have, he's got tan, which is crap.
James is saying that tan is a strange name, it's an odd colour. Tell us what you think, please. Here's the number to call. Get involved by calling the warm-up with Johnny Vaughan on 08717 223344 or email us via talksport.com. You can tweet us at TSWarmup or text us at 81089. 50p plus normal sending charges apply. So tan, is it a normal colour? Is it like the other colours that other players and managers have? Is James right to separate that from normal numbers? Give us a call, please.
Is it a light brown? Is it a buff?
Is it a light brown? Is it a verb? Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? How are we going to go here? Give us a call, please. James wants to hear now your views on tan. A strange name for a chairman, a weird name for a chairman. Has he got an inferiority complex? Does he feel superior? Give us a call, please. James wants to hear.
They're going to have a month of disillusionment. Then the new manager will come in. They probably won't get anyone that he wants. And that's it. And then they'll be out. The three teams below him have all got new managers. They've all been bedded in for a month. They're all getting results. He's just like, he's nuts. He shot himself in the foot.
Like I say, give us a call.
All the Cardiff fans said this was wrong. And I thought, they're overreacting a bit by changing the colour shirt change.
Yeah.
Mind you, I've got to tell you, that would kind of cheese you off, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but Leeds changed their shirt in the early 60s.
Oh,
Don Revy
no.
changed it.
Oh,
No,
Leeds,
Johnny,
it were the
Johnny,
same at Leeds
every
United
single
when they changed
year,
shirt colour.
every single year for commercial reasons, football teams change their shirt.
They do, yeah.
Every year, Liverpool have got a terrible
I know
away
that,
kit.
but you have never changed colours on actually a first-team shirt. You've had yellow and you've had white, but you've
No,
never
we haven't.
completely changed
No,
from red to
until
blue,
the
so.
early 60s when Don Revy took over, Leeds played in blue.
Really?
We played in a kit that was very similar to Everton.
But then
with
you've
a yellow
become your
trim.
whites. You haven't changed it then, no.
Loads of teams change their kit every year.
They do 3 new strips a year.
No, but to go from blue to red, that's a big shift.
massive.
I know
That's
it
a
is,
big shift.
but it's not like they went from blue
because
to
James,
white
no, but James,
to Swansea, is it?
For instance, there's blue supporters, red supporters. You broadly speaking, if you support a blue
The
team, you always
blues,
go
the
for the
reds,
blue in
yeah,
any
yeah.
derby. It's a mindset, Jimmy.
No,
You
but
can't just do that.
I thought-
colours.
Speaking of
Yeah,
Reds,
colours.
what about the terrible news
It's
for
like Crips and Bloods, Jim.
What about the
Yeah.
terrible news for Liverpool fans this week?
What?
Well, Luis Suarez has signed a new contract.
Why is that bad?
Well, because it just means he's gone, doesn't it?
You go and explain this.
When a player signs a new contract, it's for the club to get more money for him in
That's
the summer.
true.
It's
Or-
good. It's so counterintuitive.
Nowadays,
It's just
it
wonderful.
is. And you can't win. If you're a fan and you want someone to commit again, if they don't commit, you know they've gone.
Yeah.
If they do commit, you think,
That's
well,
You're saying it's a bit like the board expressing confidence in the manager, right?
Exactly.
And it's
Yeah,
like
okay.
Harry Redknapp pledging his commitment to a club.
Yes.
It's basically his
Well,
way
you
of
wouldn't want
applying
that.
for a job.
Yeah.
So yesterday, QPR were tweeting that Harry loves QPR. He's way behind the fans. The fans behind the club. He's just focused on doing the job.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So obviously he's looking for the Spurs job.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a good
Do you know what,
reverse
I quite
technology
like
for
it,
the
though.
Spurs.
Around London, in cabs, particularly amongst Tottenham fans, the theories are great. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen, mate. It's Capello, innit? Hoddle, innit? I've heard the rumour mill. It's just fantastic how it just drips down. The
Talksport's very own Alan Brazil is touting for Glenn to get that job,
Is he?
isn't he? Yeah, he's speaking as a football man, he says.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said Glenn's a football man.
He used the word football.
He did.
Football man.
Yeah, it's sentiment. Everyone's forgetting that he got fired from Wolves 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he hasn't managed a team since.
I mean, he got fired from England for
I
talking
think
about reincarnation. That is an odd way to get sacked. There's not many managers get sacked from international football for comments made about reincarnation.
Yeah.
Thinking back, it's mad.
Yeah, but a lot of players do say he was a great coach to work for England.
Yes.
But he hasn't really done a lot for club level.
No.
Chelsea, didn't he win the cup for you? Did he win the cup? Or he hard viewed Holly, didn't he?
He spoke to the players himself.
That's all I can ever see is Glenn slightly licking. Sometimes he used to have a little sore on his lip. He's just licking that sore. He's going,
Yeah, I've spoken to the players themselves. The players.
We need to set up the tweets so we could fill in.
Jimmy,
We
do
could
it.
outline
Come on,
of the
Jim,
show.
before I just start
Okay,
counting.
three
Otherwise,
things.
I'll just get stuck in that thing where I just keep going.
At TS warm-up.
At TS warm-up. Just 3 things today.
Yeah.
Just your best footballer story that you think no one else knows. We've already had a brilliant response to that. Absolutely
We
brilliant.
also want your wild boars in. People who are really wild or boring at football or a wild boar. We
Yeah.
want to hear about those as well.
And-
do you know the funniest thing I've ever heard Glenn Hoddle say? Once he was talking on another radio station after a game, and we were coming back from the game, and we just, I think we just actually beat you 3-2, Jim, at Ellen Road. And
Really?
a quickly taken penalty, a dodgy free kick, and a goal that went through Lukic's legs. I think Brian Dean scored the first 2, and we came back with 3. Anyway,
Okay,
we were coming
thanks.
back, and Glenn goes,
Yeah, we worked on a lot of stuff in the training ground. At the end of the day, it all come to fruitation.
Fruitation.
he used the word fruitation. It was
Instead of fruition.
I was just thinking, genius. I noticed in the second interview they cut that. He says,
Did I say fruitation? Yeah, the players themselves, the players. Fruitation.
anyway, listen, it's 11:14. You're listening to TalkSport. This is the warm-up. I'm Johnny Vaughan, joined, that was James Brown and Gavin Woods. We've got Back in Black, which is exciting for us. We've got the former Manchester United, Newcastle and Blackburn winger, Keith Gillespie as well. It's going to be a treat to have him on the show in just a second. Stay with us. Hello there, welcome back to the warm-up. James Brown has just had a big mouthful of something. James, what have you just had?
I've got my new invention.
What, a bacon sandwich?
It's the bacon sandwich
I've
because
got to
the
tell you,
bread
James, it's not
here
original.
is so thick. I have all the bacon, but only one slice of bread, halved.
Yeah.
So the ratio of bread to bacon.
It's 50-50.
No, it's the bread is reduced by 50% and the bacon is increased by 50%.
Talk us through the sandwich.
Literally.
Do you know what? I was in Sweden recently, and I was just doing a talk on radio, and just went to a conference in Sweden, and I think I told you about it on air. But if you're not going to inquire further.
No, you did. You
Okay, I
told us
did
about
a
it.
conference. Anyway, but I got into an argument with someone because they were serving open sandwiches. And my contention was, I said, no, you can't have an open sandwich. That's merely a bit of bread with something on it.
It's like an open prison.
That's called smørrebrød.
It doesn't make sense.
I know, but it's not an open
Everyone thinks
sandwich.
smorgasbord means a selection like a buffet.
Well, no, it
But
doesn't.
it doesn't. It means open sandwich.
It means a dragon.
Is that right?
It means
Oh, right.
empty bread.
Well, it was a type of dragon.
Smorgasbord means empty bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
never
we
bothered-
can't. They
on
call
a
it
smorgasbord.
open sandwiches. I'm thinking, I don't want to get bogged down in this. It's one of these really petty discussions, but it just kind of annoyed
My
me.
issue with the Scandinavians is they don't toast the bread.
And it's always that dark brown pumpernickel
I don't mind
stuff.
that if it's
Yeah,
toasted.
right. Hear you barking, dog.
That should be James's nickname, Dark.
It should be. Jim, have you finished your bacon sandwich? Are you ready to talk?
Dark
Because I've got a
brown.
guest coming on right now.
Is it Keith Gillespie?
We've got a big guest. Jim, you're going to be corralling all the
Yeah, we
tweets
got
and things
loads.
that are
The
coming
other
in.
thing was as well, have you ever done a footballer a favour or has he ever done you a favour?
Okay, tell us about that,
You've
please.
got loads of things you can tweet in.
It's 11:19. This is the warm-up on TalkSport. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got a guest for you now. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our Christmassy guest theme.
Ding dong merrily on high, the imprisoned bells are ringing. Ding dong merrily the sky.
Okay, guys, just say, I asked you for like a really hearty version of it. Yeah. What do you put out? Is one of you like proud of your kids and that was their nativity play? No, seriously, they're going, and that was the children from. It's one of you lot, isn't it? Come on, guys, I wanted it really hearty.
It's very Christmassy, though.
Okay, we'll change that to God Rest You Merry Gentlemen for the next one. Keith Gillespie, you there?
Morning, how you doing?
Morning, Keith. How are you,
Morning,
matey?
I'm all good.
Okay,
all good, thanks.
Thank you very much for joining us on the warm-up. First question for you. What was it like coming through at Manchester United? Because there's been a lot of talk about the class of 92. Tell me about the different ways that you all used to warm up back then.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I was very fortunate because I was a Man United fan as a kid, so I've sort of lived the dream by actually signing for them. And
you know, it's great now to actually look back and think about all the players I played with, and you know, it's still talked about now about that team back in 1992. So,
Keith,
you know, I feel
Keith.
very fortunate.
Keith, can I just ask you, does it make a difference when you score a goal and it's for your own team? That's your team you support when it
must
isn't.
do.
No, does it in that split second when you score the goal? Does it make that much difference?
Of course it does.
Does
the
it?
first goal that you ever score, and it's for your team that you support. Of course it does. You know, it's the most incredible feeling. And
because I always assume that professional football is like a team. It's like changing between scaffold firms.
Yeah, but you'd be dreaming about it your whole life.
Yeah, but
wouldn't
we've
you?
never asked anybody this. What about when you score against a team you support?
Yeah.
Does that feel bad or not? Could
No, because
It's not like just moving building
scoring,
sites.
Scoring is just one of the best feelings that you could ever imagine. You know, it's I mean, that's why you play football. You want to score goals, and you know, if you score against, no matter who it is.
No, but
the
Keith, what
team
I'm trying to say to you, in the heat of a game, yeah, and it's a vital goal, yeah, it's that vital. It's just, you've pulled it back. It's they're 2-0 up, and you pull one of those 3-2ers back, and someone gets that vital goal. In that moment, isn't it just about what team you're playing for? Or is it really just adds that extra bit that it's also the team you support? I'm not very interested. Sorry to draw you on this, but I'm kind of interested.
No, well, it doesn't really matter. Once you actually play professional football, it doesn't really matter about who it's against, or you know, you sort of once you're playing, your allegiances go out the window. You know, you want to do your best for the club that you're at. It doesn't matter what team you support.
Keith, what about friendly allegiances when you play against mates? Because we saw Ashley Cole this week out with the Arsenal players at their Christmas party. Does that?
What about that?
A mate of mine who's a player says it's different now because all the players know each other.
Yeah, I mean, all the players do know each other. You know, it's just one of those things. But you know, mates things doesn't come into it. You know, you just want to do your best, and that's it.
Okay.
But
So Ashley Cole being out, I mean, you don't see that as like a guy, he's working in a new office, and suddenly you see him out and about with his old office on an office party. Seriously, that's a joke. What are you doing? Well, we're not good enough to party with. What's going on with that?
No, to be fair, I mean, he obviously knows all these players from England as well. You know, they're teammates when he's with England, so...
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Can I ask how you used to warm up then, you and the lads, in the class of 92 at Manchester United? What was the regime there under Fergie?
When I actually left, I was 19, but, you know, Fergie was just absolutely amazing with us. You know, he brought us through in the right way. He knew how to handle us. You know, I actually made my debut on a Monday night, and the following Saturday I was back in the youth team. You know, he sort of knew how to bring you through and nurture you, and you know, bring you through in the right way. You know, keep your feet on the ground. You know.
Okay. How did he differ from Kevin Keegan then, and how weird was that for you? Because they kind of locked horns, well, famously
In 96.
Yeah.
in '96. What was it like? What was it like for you then under Kev? Did he ever ask you about what Sir Alex was probably up to?
To me, Keegan was, you know, he was the best manager I ever worked under. His man management skill was just absolutely incredible. And, you know, everybody talks about, you know, the famous rant. But, you know, looking back on it, I think I love that he had that passion to actually go out and do that.
We all wanted
You
to
know,
win.
yeah,
as
we
well.
really did
We
want to
really
win.
did.
Exactly. I mean, I actually always said, you know, people, I mean, if you were asked who came second in the league 3 years ago, you would struggle to think about it, but everybody remembers that Newcastle team from 1995.
Keith, I always got the impression that Kevin Keegan just wanted to play football. Did he train with you? Did he join in and actually do the training rather than taking the training?
He did. He was different class. You know, even in training, he joined in. He was a proper tracksuit manager. Joined in and you know, played in the games and that, and he just loved being out on the pitch. And you know, Terry McDermott was his assistant. He joined in as well, and you know, it was just a great time. Yeah, Terry Mack.
Terry Mack. All right. Yes, Terry Mack once very kindly got a mate of mine. His dad knows Terry Mack. And Terry got us, it was actually that same team, and Terry got us 4 tickets at Newcastle. And just say we were very aware of the fact he'd stuck us right in the Newcastle end. So much so, I mean, it really was. At one point, I think it was 24,000 people probably turning around pointing at us 4 individually, shouting, "We hate Cockneys." And I seem to recall there's a moment at the off licence when someone just decided to kick the back of my foot and going, What are you doing here? Like, I think you were wrong. Aren't you, pal?
Keith, did you ever get clattered by a manager for going round him because you were very fast in training? Would have you ever embarrassed a manager with your pace?
No, what I caught. To be fair, the only one who really joined in was Keegan. I think. Yeah. Graham Souness used to join in now and again, but he couldn't get close enough to me, thankfully.
I always thought Kev, do you know what? I don't know what he was like in training, but at times, I bet when he was there, you just sort of wish you could just see him head one ball with that little perm he used to have. Just those little, do you know what I mean? When he used to go up in the air, he used to have that little flick with his head, and his little perm used to shake in those tight little Admiral shorts. Oh, man. It was awesome.
Keith, last week we had John Sheridan on. He told us about how he used to turn out for his brother's team on a Sunday morning sometimes as a ringer. Did you ever used to play for a mate's team on a Sunday or sneak on in your trainers like he did?
To be fair, I've actually only just retired the last sort of 4 or 5 months, so I've got 2 dodgy knees at the minute, so I'm sort of out of it.
You don't want more than that.
You're running out of knees.
You really are.
I think I've had too many birthdays, so the knees are just, a little wear and tear. So,
what's the best bit about having retired so recently?
Be honest about this, Keith. Come on.
No, to be fair,
we've all got our demons.
No. There's actually no enjoyment out of retiring. When you're sort of involved in football so long, you just want to keep on playing. And to be fair, I'm very fortunate that. It could have happened to me 10 years ago where my knees would have been, would have went, but, unfortunately I actually got to 38, so, I'm thankful for that, Do you know
I've got a dodgy right knee, and it's just so annoying not being able to trust it. It's just the most annoying thing. Even like I jump off the stair and I just sort of land it. I just get a little wobble. I've got a severed anterior cruciate ligament. It's the most annoying thing in my life. I can't be bothered to have reconstructive surgery. I've had 2 operations on it. It drives me mad.
Keith, who were the best bunch of players you ever played with? Who were the best laugh? Forget the football for a minute. Who did you have the best time with off the pitch?
Good question, Jim.
To be fair, it was definitely the Newcastle time. We used to arrange nights out every 3 weeks, and I think anybody who knows Newcastle knows what a great night that is. And the people are amazing up there. We used
it must
to
be quite weird.
nights.
Again, it's like Leeds. It's a one-team town. So you go around there, and everyone in the whole place is a Newcastle fan.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why it's so special. The place is just. Especially, if you look back in the 90s when we came close to winning the league, you can imagine the actual buzz about the city, that whole season where we were playing some great football.
Well, okay, I bet you could tell some stories.
Did you play in that game when Newcastle beat Man United 5-0 and Albert scored the lob at the end?
To be fair, I was sub that day. Well, unfortunately, I was sub that day, but everybody. I think everybody remembers
he had the best chant for a while, Philip Albert. Which was Philip Albert. Nobody knows his name. Okay, listen, Keith, thank you so much for joining us. This is the warm-up. That was Keith Gillespie. Keith Gillespie warming up. Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Keith. You take care. Have a great Christmas.
His book's out, How Not to Be a Football Millionaire.
Get Keith. It's very candid. James, you've read this, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I would go on, give us a little bit of a hype for it, because you came on for the plug.
It's just a very honest book. He talks about his gambling addiction. He's played for some great managers. Graham Souness, he mentioned there. Kevin Keegan. He's played for Ferguson. So it's full of stuff there.
Okay.
He used to place bets for Alex Ferguson.
Is that in there?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Imagine that nipping down there. You'd have to really be sure. You're thinking, did he say each way? Oh, God. Or did he want an accumulator? I can't remember. I can't recall it. I think I'm incompetent.
That's basically the plot of Kes.
Alex what I like is he's sending a
Judd. Judd. And Keith Gillespie is Billy Casper.
He'll not want a wimpy little prat like thee, don't mind. Jed. Jed. That's it.
Judd.
So Alex Ferguson is Judd.
He comes up to the training ground.
Keith Gillespie's
he's going to knack Keith Gillespie. Isn't that a great film?
Oh, that's so sad.
It is.
Okay, listen. Walt
Disney
Sometimes,
wanted to make
James,
that film.
You really do it.
Walt Disney wanted to make the film, Kes.
And what happened?
And they offered Barry Hines and Ken Loach loads of money to change the ending.
No.
Yeah, they want, and to be fair to, I've picked up his to be fair-itis there.
Yeah, to be fair.
That Ken Loach and Barry Hines, the writer, who's a brilliant writer, Barry Hines, they said no, it's got to end how it ends. of our Judd killing
Fair
the
play to
Kestrel.
them, fair play to
Johnny
them.
realised I did a show on the History Channel recently. And I didn't realise we did a special on falconry. That actually it's called a kestrel for a knave because that's all you're allowed to have.
When you're a knave.
Yes.
As opposed
Yeah.
to a
Yeah,
knight.
otherwise it was like a death penalty. If you went above that, the local aristo could have you done. If you went up to like a decent
What,
falcon.
if you pimped your bird?
Yeah, if you pimped your hawk. Yeah,
you got
you're in
yourself
trouble.
a
So it's always a
golden
kestrel
eagle.
for a knave. Listen, we're going to take a break. We're back in a second when the woodman Gavin Woods, Timber, has got Back in Black for you. Full coverage of what the refs have been up to this week. It's 11:33. This is the warm-up on TalkSport. This is the warm-up on TalkSport. Thanks to Capital One. Sorry, I'm really jocked. I said thanks to. I just started rocking the thing like I'm
jocked
doing drive time on a music station.
Loving the show.
Loving the show. Big letter here says John, loving the show. Firing us all the way down there. Packed up all the Christmas stuff. We're on the way to Grants. Safety on the roads. Hey, guys. Anyway, listen, you listen to Warm Up on TalkSport. Thanks to Capital One. The credit cards that supports the supporters. It's time for Back in Black. Gav, item 1. Jack Wilshere. Tell me, where you want to go?
He gave the finger to the City crowds.
Nice.
It's the City crowd last week in the Man City Arsenal game.
Well, yeah, how do you feel about that? Because
Well, no, because the point I was going to make is they're giving him a 2-game ban.
I mean, how do you feel about the game? You're an Arsenal fan. I just want to digress for a second.
well,
Come on. I
okay.
watched a bit of it with you here.
Okay, I watched it with James.
Well, that's not helpful, is it?
We gave away 2 goals. For sure. We passed it. for one.
6-3.
I know.
Actually, it's only like 3-0. It's only 3-0.
No, I have
be-
a theory which I said to reassure Gavin.
Yeah.
As I've mentioned before, my son supports Arsenal, so you want your kids' teams to do
look for
well,
the
so they're happy.
positive, yeah.
Same with Gavin, you want him to do well.
Is that what happens? Really?
Yeah, well, you know what it's like. Your kids like Chelsea. You
Yeah,
get
I know,
them
I know.
Christmas presents from Chelsea to
I know.
make sure they stay supporting Chelsea.
How do you know that? Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you told us that.
That's
I thought,
what you do,
I thought
yeah.
it was a very clever idea.
And you just always put
Is
their best
your-
present in the stocking, which comes. That's not from Santa.
This
That's
is
from
from
Chelsea
Chelsea.
Football Club.
That's a great
That's from
idea.
Chelsea Football
It's a
Club because they
brilliant-
care.
Anyway, but I was saying to Gavin, it was 6-5 because they had a perfectly good goal disallowed.
Two onside goals
and they had a totally clear
handball
penalty
yeah.
not given. So
should have been 3 other goals.
you know, and in
All
some
right,
games,
James, hang on a second though. Let's go back to Gav here because Gav,
Well, no,
6-3.
I know.
no,
I
it
know.
wasn't really. It should have been 6-5.
James.
It should, no, you're right.
I know your son supports him. Gav supports him. Right? Just let the guy
I'm trying
run
not to
with the
be
ball.
too one-eyed about it because I'm an Arsenal
Yeah, you
fan.
can
It
be, that's
wasn't
all right.
2-1.
No.
It was 6-3.
This isn't a balanced show, Gav.
The point I was going to make is that City probably still would have won the game even without the ref helping. Martin Atkinson, who
That's
reffed,
better.
Martin,
I disagree.
Martin Atkinson, who reffed that game.
Oh, see, ref.
The
come
point
on.
I'm making about the Wilshere 2-game ban.
They're all
How
red.
do you know that? Is
Is
that
that-
from that list of who they support?
Yeah, untold referees.
We've got that on sabotage.
James, would you please?
Have you?
He's
Yeah.
an Arsenal fan, and we've given him a platform here to vent a
Okay.
bit.
Okay, so Wilshere got a 2-game ban. Last year, Suarez did the same thing in a game.
Ooh.
He had no. Wilshere's got no previous for this, and he got
Okay.
2-game ban. Anyway, I can understand the punishment. That's fair enough.
Did you say no
What's
previous?
the explanation
Yeah,
Gav, you said no.
of the two rather than the one?
there isn't. They're just saying that's the punishment now.
Gav, sorry, did you use the phrase no previous?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
give him a lump of bird.
But what I was going to say is that it's when a player does something to the crowd, gives a signal. They've been absolutely slated for 90 minutes, sworn at left, right, and centre. It's going to happen, isn't
Gavin, I got my hand up it like I'm in class.
You really have got your
Yeah,
hand
yeah,
up,
go
actually.
on.
He has got his hand up. I can confirm that.
Is the disciplinary panel made up of the FA or is it independent?
it? I think it's at the FA.
So they've got an existing relationship with all the clubs,
Yeah.
and they've given Suarez last year, where Liverpool were nowhere near being involved in the title race, a one-match ban,
Yeah.
and they've given Arsenal
Oh,
a
don't.
2-match
You're getting
ban.
the conspiracy
6-3.
butterflies going
No,
in my
but
stomach.
they should be made to explain why one player gets it.
I
It's
know.
exactly the same thing.
I know.
And
Sir,
another player
How
doesn't.
come if Watkins was caught eating crisps and he only got sent out, how come I got a detention for eating?
There was no one at my school called Watkins.
Sherbet bonbons at the same time. If he crisps less than bonbons, how come we got less? How come then we got detention, sir, and he didn't even get sent out because he's in the first 11?
Sorry, Gav.
Anyway.
Let's move on. FIFA vanishing spray. Now, they've got this spray on the ground to mark out the 10-yard zone. I found this fascinating because it's such a simple thing to do.
They're going to mark where the free kicks should be taken from and where the line has to stand. Because the lines always creep forward. And it's actually a really common sense idea. Just like goal technology, it's a really common sense idea.
Yeah, but it does. What happens if it runs out, Gav?
Yeah,
By the
but-
time he's gone and done the line,
They'll give them
then he's
another
gone
one.
back and the dot's gone.
But the point I was going to make is that
Right, yeah, it keeps vanishing at the other end, like painting the
hang on, it's gone.
like painting the fourth bridge.
Yeah.
Then just start again. He just
By the
keeps
time
going round and round.
By
He's
the
like a
time he's
maniac.
stopped encroaching and he's done the line, it's gone back. Hang on.
It's vanished. Oh, God, he's not going to happen, Jones. They've tested it.
Blatter said, everyone has been convinced by the tools.
Weak blatter.
And we're similarly impressed. So anyway, all 310 of the staff at FIFA have come up with some spray, and I just thought we should congratulate
How many
them.
staff?
310.
310.
And they've got some spray.
But we have to find out how they will stay 10 yards. I know, let's get some sprays that will vanish. Good idea. I am weak bladder.
Anyway.
I have weak bladder. Okay, decision passed. We have the spray cans with no goal line technology.
Gav, next one up. Mike Dean.
Yes, Mike.
Now you're looking forward here to Arsenal-Chelsea.
This is the Arsenal-Chelsea game on Monday. Mike Leslie Dean is the referee.
Nice.
And,
It's really- Michael Leslie Dean, you have been found guilty. Oh, God.
And I've just found a great stat from that was put out last year in the papers last February. Since 2009, Arsenal's win rate has been 57%.
Okay.
Under Mike Dean games...
Oh, Gav, you can't just use this as a person. I mean, I was encouraging you earlier
No,
on this
wait,
Arsenal
wait,
thing,
wait.
but now you really...
No, wait.
I tell you...
Wait till you hear the
You do what
percentage.
you're doing. No, because you know what you're doing? You're talking to him before the game.
I am.
You're
I am.
actually trying
I'm
to
doing
sway
a
the
Fergie.
game.
I'm doing a
You're
Fergie.
doing a Fergie. No, I'm going to cancel
No,
this
no,
out.
wait,
No,
no,
because
he's
it's against
doing
Chelsea.
mind games.
No,
You've
you're
got
doing... No, Gav, you can't use this as a platform to play
You've
mind
got
games.
to hear the figure.
Mike Dean, if you're listening, switch off. We'll
gotta
lose a
hear-
listener
you've gotta
and
hear
gain
the
a
figure.
result.
You've
No,
got to hear
Gav,
the
no.
figure.
Mike, turn off. Mike, off.
You know what? The refs love...
6.7%.
He's so Arsenal biased.
6.7%.
It means nothing to Mike.
And has there been key sending-offs and stuff?
There have...
No, Gav,
on and
no,
off-
why are you giving him a
Well,
platform?
listen, I'll tell you
Because
now.
this is fascinating. This could apply
Lily
to
White.
any of our teams.
Listen, I've got the figures for all the top teams, right?
Busted, Gav.
Between 2009 and now, Chelsea have won 62.5% of their games with Mike
Do you know
Dean.
what, Gav? You're actually trying to affect football.
Man City, 62.5%.
What, you hooked up
Man
with some-
United, 66.7%. Tottenham, 66.0%. Arsenal, 6.7%.
And how many games has he refed?
30-odd games.
So 30 games.
And
Yeah,
if-
would you stop trying to affect the
They've only
result?
won 2 of them.
Well, in essence, we had about a third of them were against top teams, so you can understand
Okay,
that part
it's
of it.
11:44. This is the warm-up on your TalkSport. Gav,
6.7%.
Gav is actually trying... No, Gav, you're actually trying to swear a result.
Of course I am.
That's just terrible,
Do
man.
that. He's not a manager or player.
It doesn't matter. It strikes me as infraction of something.
Everybody's
and
trying to
I'm almost-
swear a result.
Can I
That's
compare
what
you off
football
comment?
is.
What are you with some Malaysian gambling syndicate, Gav?
No.
Or is it just personal interest? Do you know what? I'm going to command Ofcom about this show. I'm actually going to do that, or Betcom, or whatever. Go on, James.
Footballers and favours are pouring in on the
Okay.
Twitter. Callum Russell says, I once picked up Fernando Eriksen's wallet in Glasgow. When he didn't notice he dropped it, he gave me a signed £50 note.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Signed one.
That's really frustrating.
Yeah, 'cause you can't spend
Give me
it.
one that's signed. Give me
One I
here's,
can
here's
use.
a bus ticket, sign that, and give me 50 quid.
Right, I know, there comes a time.
Alex O'Brien says, I was lost on the way to a junior cricket match and I pulled over to ask for directions and Ian Robin gave us a hand.
Wow.
Footballer giving that. This is great.
That's good. What did he do? What did he say what he did?
No, he just gave him the directions how to get to the cricket pitch.
I've got a great
And
one
what
here.
gets me there is that Arjen Robin knew.
Well, maybe his kids was at the pitch.
I don't know, but it's
That's
weird.
just-
I mean, you wouldn't expect
Uh,
Robin. He was here for like a year or so, 2 years.
Scott Morgan bumped into Gary Bailey as he was coming out of a pizza shop. They both dropped their pizzas.
Wow.
But Gary, they both picked each other's pizzas up, and Gary signed part of the box for me.
I've got one from... I've got one
That's from Scott
Do you
Morgan.
know what? I love that. It's such a great moment. They both drop their feet. It's like, oh. It's a bit flirty.
It's a bit like, yeah, it's a bit
It's like,
rom-com.
I've
meeting you
dropped my-
here.
I've dropped my pizza, Gary, so have I.
I've got a great one here from John Yates. I worked in a hotel and Claudio Canigia used to borrow cigs all the time, cigarettes.
All sportsmen do.
Flipped one day when I didn't have any and he booted the lift.
Who's that? Who said that? John Yates.
I got John Yates.
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
the best
Great.
story.
It's
Brilliant.
He didn't have
He
a
just
cigarette.
felt entitled to them after a few weeks, didn't he?
Arrogant.
Maybe that's what
Argentinian.
happens. The Argentinian concierge are very good. You know, at hotels, maybe they
Yeah.
maybe that's just what you
He
expect.
expects cigarettes. He kicked
He
Oh,
kicked the
that's
lid.
absolutely brilliant. Listen, warming up next, we've got a wild ball update. Stay with us. This is the warm up on TalkSport. James Brown's here, Gavin Wood's here. I'm Johnny Vaughan. Join us after this. This is the warm up on TalkSport. There were just testing out some of the jingles you've got coming your way. It's kind of threw me. They did it
just a taste.
No, they really did, but they did it right up to the red light. Really threw me.
Did, yeah.
They do things like that. I have to say, TalkSport is a place where I just because we're on air, I just asked a guy for if I could just have some water, and they give you this look like you sort of asked for all the orange M&Ms to be taken out. You know, it's like woo,
It's not like
Diva.
it's not like we've asked them to turn the heating on.
I
Or
know,
something, is
they-
it?
we just said, can you make because they turn the heating back? It's boiling in it. They look at you like diva.
Prima donna.
You
took
prima donna, look at you.
took us-
He wants easy down and some water. Prima donna.
he wants water
What's
now.
next, huh? Blue M&Ms, is it? Good, what else is on your rider? We've got a live guest, gang.
Yeah.
I've said gang, I promise not to do that. This is really exciting. We've got Ian Marfell, who's the Sudeley AFC chairman. This is a wild boar update. We know last week we heard about the wild boars attacking the pitch, £1,000 of damage. They can't play there for a bit.
They got their snouts
Is
involved.
it the
didn't
same
they?
bloke?
Well,
Is it the same
It's
fella?
the same bloke. Ian's back. Hi, Ian.
Hey, chaps, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Ian, what's the wild boar update, please? What's the situation down at the club? Have they come back?
No, the new defences we put up have worked so far, so we've had no more attacks.
Okay, just run us through the defences you got going there, because it's quite elaborate.
Well, no, it's just re-fencing the boundaries, basically. We couldn't do nothing exciting, like stick an electric fence or anything down, because it's a village hall ground.
That would
actually,
be
you know.
exciting.
Yeah.
Tell me, is it like with prisoner of war camps? Do you have to dig under and let the mesh go underground as well to stop them going under it?
Well, I think they've tightened it right down to the ground as best they can.
Oh, I bet
They do try and dig underneath it, yeah.
I bet they do. I mean, the thing is, Ian, you're up against something that's strong, determined, and wants your pitch.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
it sound
But
like
they
Razor
haven't managed to...
But they've
They haven't
smacked.
got on there... Oh, go on, sorry.
They've absolutely smacked your pitch up. Haven't they?
They have, yeah.
They really have. Sorry, I just couldn't resist it for a second there.
Can't believe we're having an update on a fence.
It's not. Listen, this is a big football issue. Yeah, I tell you what this is. This is proper grassroots level. And
This
that's
is
what
like
we're
when
doing
they
here.
when
This
I
is
was
more
a
than
kid,
keeping it.
they dug up the people protesting for George Davis.
Yeah, Oval.
They dug up Headingley Cricket Ground. It's similar. The Boers are protesting about something. They just haven't been able to graffiti the walls of the ground yet. Soon it'll become apparent what they're
They put
campaigning
oil on the
against.
pitch, didn't they, as well?
Yeah, they dug it up. That was bottom of my street.
Was it?
The paint was wet as I went past on my paper round.
Okay, hang on a second. We've got to go back to Ian.
Yeah, sorry, but-
stop making out these things like
Oh, my paper round. I used to get bread for my dad, and our nan was back at house. And I came back and said, our nan, I got white on. She said, why is this white? You'll have your anorak. I said, it's because it's paint from George Davis, the Cockney villain.
Sorry, Ian. Ian, when are you going to be back on the pitch?
We're hoping it'll be the last weekend in November. Not November, Christ,
Yeah.
that's miles away.
I was going to say, it's a
It'll
long
be
as a
last
year.
weekend in
It's a
January,
year.
yeah. It'll be last weekend of January we're hoping for to be back on there.
Okay. And how are you getting on meantime? I mean, it must be tough for the players just feeling like they've got no home.
Well, we've done quite well, really. We haven't missed many games because of it. The league what run the Division 2 team, what our seconds are in, they've done well. They've managed to organise us fixtures for away games for this whole period
Okay.
at the moment. So big thanks to them,
So you're
especially.
So actually, you're going to have a really nice run of home fixtures as well. You're going to come back, you're going to have a glut of home fixtures. How's it going on your run at the moment? How did you do last week?
Well, the seconds did okay. They won 6-2. But the first, the first lost 8-2 last week. So.
I've noticed you did that last week as well. Johnny said, how's the team going? And you said, the second team have done all right.
I know. 8-2, but no shortage of incidents. 8-2. What went wrong, do you think, as the chairman?
Well, last week it was a real struggle. We had a lot of players unavailable last week for various reasons, being Christmas and all coming up.
So
people working.
Shame them, Ian. Name them.
Name them. What reasons do they give? Just because it's near Christmas? It's miles away from Christmas. There's no reason just because it's a Saturday there.
Well, there was a lot of people working. A lot of people got their kids, and there was a few that said they were going Christmas shopping.
Hold on. I'm not going to play for the team. I'm doing Christmas shopping.
Christmas shopping?
That's what happens at this level. Roy Hodgson never gets his problem, does he?
No, he
No,
doesn't.
never does Vincent Tan.
Well, especially as you're now a team that's getting national coverage every Saturday. You'd have thought they'd feel a bit more. You'd thought they'd become a bit sort of more like sort of Bobby Dazzlers.
Do you need some extra players?
Well, it feels like it at times. When we got everybody available, we got two decent squads.
Okay, well, listen, Ian, can we say Happy Christmas to you? I hope you manage to keep the wild boars out and they don't come back. Has there been any sightings of them just before we finish? Anyone seen them?
Well, we haven't seen any, but another local club by us, Whitecroft FC, they've had their pitch done over as well. So
We need to talk to them.
So what's the deal here?
Wheatcroft FC.
It's like they're sort of serial bores, and they're targeting now. They're doing us like a pattern.
Do you think the Boers have met up in the woods and have gone, right, let's go and do Sudley's ground again? No, they've got a fence. Let's cut the other team. Yes! Come on!
It seems to me they're trying to shut. It sounds like they're rugby fans.
They're
local
organised,
rugby.
Johnny. They've got mobile phones, those boars.
They're highly organised.
They're very organised.
Of course they are.
Maybe they're actually fighting other Boers.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what we do know is they've now picked on Wheatcroft. What we don't want is if the pattern of these football grounds, we suddenly sketch it through, and it's like the Ripper. We suddenly look at it, it's like a pentangle, and the boars are going around. It's some kind of weird things, yeah. It's like a serial thing. Anyway, listen. Thank you very much to. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Marfell from Sudley AFC. Thank you, and happy Christmas to all the gang down there.
Thanks, Ian.
Cheers, matey.
Merry Christmas, boys.
Bye.
I've got your mail.
How about that? They're targeting Wheatcroft FC. Go on, James.
I've got your post.
Oh, I know they're from you,
Yeah, but
and they're
not from me. Last
What are
time you
they?
opened the post, you had that brilliant mask. It's like Russian roulette.
Okay, go on then.
In your pigeonhole, after 20 weeks, there's a letter for you.
Yeah.
And there's one for Bob Ballard, addressed to Radio Talk Sport Department.
No, I know. Okay, shall I open? I'm going to open
We
this
can't
letter.
open Bob's, can we?
Well, Bob's not coming in before Christmas. It might be a Christmas card.
Where is Bob?
He's on a different schedule now.
Hang on, let me just have a look. Oh, this is obviously from you.
It's not from me. It's not. It
Yes,
isn't from.
it is.
It isn't from
It's
me.
on the fly sheet from an old copy of Bravo 20, James.
It's not from me. It's
It
just.
says to Johnny, glad you're back on the wireless. Contents, letter to Vaughan. Okay, and it's from the inside cover there of Bravo 20, as you can see.
That isn't me. What does it say?
It's
It's
hilarious.
read the listener's letter out.
I'm going to have to check it through. But it looks actually it's quite good. It's all right. It's okay. It could be okay, but it threw me a bit. James, I'm sure. I'll look out for that then. So if I get a picture of that, I'll know it's James. James, have you had any tweets or texts in? Just quickly wrap them up.
I've got one from Rob Hopkins.
Go on then, quickly.
I know someone who took 3 German internationals, he doesn't name the players, to training in his Cinquecento
Nice.
after the team bus got a puncture in Cardiff.
Okay.
Yeah,
go on.
Tom McCasey, coming back on what Gav said about the new Liverpool deal for Suarez, he says it's like when they make a player like Suarez captain,
Yes.
to keep him sweet. City did it with Tevez.
Arsenal did it with Fabregas.
Yeah, they sold him months later.
That's right.
It's true.
It's a classic move, isn't it?
It is.
He's going to stay here. We've upped his wages, and he's been made captain. All right, Real
And
Madrid
can you
it is
please
then.
make a statement about how you want to stay and win things with...
Yeah, all right, we've read the play. 11:57. This is TalkSport. You're listening to the warm-up. James Brown's here. Gavin the Woodman Woods is here. I'm Johnny Vaughan. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're on your way now, can I say Happy Christmas now? But don't go, because you miss a classic second hour.
They get their noses under and their snoops under there.
We're going to go straight over to QPR. It's incredible coverage.
He's got great
of a
pace.
squirrel on the pitch.
He's got great
Tony,
pace.
Tony, are you watching the squirrel?
Yeah, it's QPR 0, Leicester 0 after 11 minutes, but we've had a lengthy delay because of a lap of honour on the pitch by a squirrel who's leading the referee and the QPR players a merry dance. Joey Barton is now trying to chase after it. It's still
Wrong guy.
around on the halfway line.
What
And
will
it's
Joey
putting
do when he arrives?
It's putting in a man-of-the-match performance here, the best performance I've seen at Loftus Road for years. It's been a good game so far as well, but the man of the match so far is the squirrel. It's QPR 0, Leicester 0.
Okay, no, Tony, don't think we're not going to have live coverage of this.
Yeah,
I want to hear you.
stay with us.
Do you know what I want to hear you commentate the squirrel. Come on, Tony.
The squirrel is still on the pitch. He's in a crouching position. He's waiting for the Rangers' corner on the right-hand side. He's keeping an eye on it, and this squirrel is really on the ball this afternoon. The player's still waiting. The squirrel won't leave the pitch, and they're going to have to call the RSPCA in, I think, to clear this. And it's QPR 0, Leicester 0.
The squirrel from. I'm going to be like your pundit at your arm. By your elbow.
Why have they
looks to me there
stopped?
very much like the squirrel. He's looking for a tree there, Tony, but he won't find one on the pitch, will he? You wonder where he's going to scurry.
Yeah, we've still got a delay, and the referee is consulting with the squirrel, Mr. Paul Tierney, the referee. He can't continue with the squirrel on the pitch, and we've had a delay now of 2 or 3 minutes. The crowd are getting anxious. They're booing the referee.
They're
but
booing the squirrel.
The squirrel is still there. He's down on his haunches, and he will not be moved from this lush
He will
green
not be
Loftus
moved,
Road
Tony.
pitch.
Tony, I'm going to say this is. I've never.
We will not be moved.
We will not. He will not be moved. Tony, you're probably better across the rules of football than I am. What's the deal in the rules of football? Should vermin come on the pitch.
Invade
Well,
the
what-
pitch.
what's the deal? Why can't they just play
Never
on?
mind Joey Barton. What about the squirrel?
No, I just don't. Yeah, nice, very good, James. But why can't they just play on? I mean, it happens in parks. You get squirrels there. Oh, poor little chap. Look at it. Sorry, I shouldn't say look at him. It's radio. We're watching live coverage on Sky, and the squirrel's now going away from the tunnel towards the centre spot. But he had a lot more energy first
He's got
of
a
all.
great engine, hasn't he?
The worst thing is Harry Redknapp's looking at him sort of like it's his boy.
Harry's thinking of signing him. That look on Harry's face, go, no, this lad looks quite
I'm
handy.
sure Harry's thinking of franchise rights, so he can turn it into a character.
Yeah.
You know, secret squirrel or
Nigel
something.
Pearson looked like he wanted to eat him.
Oh, he's looking really. I have to say to you out there, if you're
He's
listening,
been chased now
the
by,
squirrel's now being chased down the
Nugent.
pitch.
David Nugent is after him. David Nugent is steaming down the flank, and he's chased the squirrel over the touchline, and the crowd cheer. And it's Nugent who plays a blinder.
He's certainly got the pace for this, hasn't he? And he's got a huge cheer from the crowd as he's chased this squirrel off. Well done, Nugent.
David Nugent.
I tell you what, when you chase a furry creature like this, like Ted Nugent, how about that?
I think that's going to see him possibly get a call up back into the England squad.
Well, I think the squirrel gave him the finger when he went off as well.
It looked like that, didn't
did,
it?
yeah,
He certainly turned around and did something. I'd like to have asked Tony who was the best at chasing the squirrel. I guess Nugent was in the end, and he sort of answered. Tony,
Yes.
overall, when you saw different players chasing the squirrel, who appeared to have the most pace? Who appeared to be the most nimble? I mean, it's quite a test. It's like Rocky with the chickens.
It was.
Well, the news is that the squirrel's coming back on. He's
No!
come from behind the goal, and he's back on the pitch
he was
again
just
now.
injured there.
The
Extended
head
coverage of the
security man-
squirrel.
The head security man is consulting his earpiece now, and they're trying to get somebody to clear the squirrel.
Okay, if you listen-
4 players are now surrounding the squirrel, and the squirrel is still running around on the pitch, and he's now gone off over at the corner flag there.
Okay, here's the deal. If you're listening to me at QPR, here's the deal. Go into director's box, remove plant or large tree, place on pitch, wait for squirrel to run up it. That's what his problem is. He's got no tree.
Right, that was the podcast, the warm up. Hope you enjoyed that. That's us for another week. We're going away. We're back, and when we come back, Christmas will be over. We'll be done.
Yeah, next Saturday.
And then we got the New Year's Eve show.
The New Year's Eve
We'll
show.
be
Hey,
here
hey, hey.
New Year's Eve, yeah.
But it's going to be a chauffeur's dream.
It will be a show.
It's been described as a show, or a coach driver's dream.
It's
if he's
an
out.
extra warm-up, but it's not called a warm-up.
What's it going to be called?
It's called Anthems with Johnny Vaughan.
Oh, fantastic.
Now that's what I
I
call.
love the word anthem.
Sporting anthems.
Okay, well, listen, enjoy us on New Year's Eve. We're back next Saturday. Happy Christmas from all of us. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas,
everyone.
pod people.